Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, my name is Maryam Shod. How's your day? I hope you always happy, keep safe, and stay healthy. In this occasion, I would like to share and explain about one of the material of my translation class. The topic is about the lexical equivalence. So, when you all hearing about the lexical, maybe some of you know that this word is oftenly mentioned or appeared in the semantics, pragmatics, or syntax. But in this time, we can learn this too in the translation. So without any further ado, let's start to the discussion. So in this presentation, I will share to you there are 4 parts that we will learn in this time. So first is about the translation, because this topic is one of the material of the subject, so we have to know what the definition of translation. The second is the definition of lexemes, lexicon, lexical, and lexical equivalence. The third, we will talking about the kinds of lexical equivalence. And in the last part, there is the frequent problems in finding the lexical equivalence. Translation. What do you know about translation? Translation is the activity or process of changing from one form to another, or changing from one language into another. The change always involves at least 2 different languages, which have a different culture, original language, and targeted language. Translation also involves 2 different people. The other in the original language, the same, and the other is the target language or the translator. Then we move to the next slide, and in this slide we will discuss or know about the definition and differences between lexeme, lexicon, and lexical. So lexeme is the unit of lexical, which is the main or the basic form of the language. It can be verbs, nouns, adjectives, or the other part of speech. So when the words or sentences can be classified as the lexical equivalence is when the condition which target language is positioned in the same condition as the source language. Jadi kondisi di mana sasaran bahasa atau si translator ini bisa memosisikan atau memahami apa yang ingin disampaikan oleh penutur aslinya. Tetapi keadaan seperti ini juga tidak menjadikan cara mereka menjelaskan itu sama. Mereka pasti punya cara masing-masing dan pemilihan kata masing-masing untuk di tiap bahasa gitu. Okay, next, now we will know about the kinds of lexical equivalence. The kinds of lexical equivalence, there are 2 points. Lexical equivalent when concepts are shared, and lexical equivalent when concepts unknown. So the first is we will discuss about the lexical equivalent when concepts are shared. There are 4 points. The first is non-literal lexical. Non-literal lexical, it can be described or it means the real meaning of the words, no ambiguity. Jadi tidak bermakna ganda dan merupakan kata asli, bentuk kata aslinya dari suatu kata atau kalimat itu. Sebagai contoh, kalimat I like eat banana. Aku suka makan pisang. Di situ menjelaskan bahwa kejadian yang sebenarnya gitu, atau keadaan yang sebenarnya, tidak bermakna ganda dan jelas. The next point is related words. In this point, I choose to they live with full of joy. In this sentence, joy has the same meaning with happiness. So you can change the word joy with happiness, or you can choose which one is better to use in the sentence. And the next is generic specific. Seperti yang dijelaskan atau yang tertera di poin ketiga ini, bahwa generic dan spesifik. Jadi general itu maksudnya umum, dan spesifik itu lebih ke khusus. Jadi dari umum ke khusus. So in this point, I choose food as the general word, and then for the specific words such as ice cream, bread, fried rice, and so many more. And the fourth is figurative sense. In this point, it's just like the metaphor, or in bahasa, we can say peribahasa. The example of this point is 2 birds, 1 stone. It has the same meaning, just like sekali mendayung, 2-3 pulau terlampaui. In the next slide, we move to the concept unknown. In the concept unknown, there are 3 points. First is using generic words. The generic words, there is word silk, which has the same meaning as fabric, and fabric can be interpreted to taffeta, tied yarn or silk. Loanword, atau yang bisa dikatakan sebagai kata pinjaman, jadi meminjam dari bahasa lain untuk digunakan sebagai bahasa percakapan sehari-hari. Sebagai contoh, my sister went to the night bazaar last night. Bazaar is from Persia. It's a Persian, which is bazaar, that refers to market. And then the third is cultural substitute. The cultural substitute is like budaya atau tradisi yang ada di negara itu dan jarang ditemukan di negara lain. Jadi ketika diketahui oleh negara lain, kata-katanya akan berubah gitu. So we arrive in the last slide of this presentation, which discuss about the frequent problems in finding the lexical equivalence. In this part, there are 4 points. There are keywords. In the keywords, we can see that there are word memasak. Memasak, we know that it can be translated as cooking, but sometimes there are the condition or context which not suitable word in the context. So in this condition, the translator In this condition, the translator should be translated memasak into photosynthesis because the context is about plants. In the next word combinations. Contoh dari word combination sendiri adalah greenhouse, di mana ini menjadi permasalahan kita, di mana susah untuk mengartikan kata yang seperti istilah. Contohnya greenhouse. Di sini tulisan greenhouse ini terdapat spasi, dan itu menjadikan kita bingung untuk menerjemahkannya. Tetapi jika spasi itu dihilangkan akan menjadi greenhouse, yang berarti adalah tempat untuk menjaga atau tanaman dari berbagai cuaca. And the next point is false friends. In the false friends, it means ada beberapa kata di berbagai bahasa yang punya format tulisan sama gitu. Contohnya seperti asistir, itu bahasa Spanyol yang jika diartikan aslinya itu, yang jika diartikan menjadi to attend, bukan to assist, bukan seperti bentuk tulisannya. Penerjemahannya ke bahasa Inggris akan berbeda dengan bentuk tulisannya. Kemudian yang terakhir yaitu components. Implicit and explicit components of the meaning in the lexical equivalence. So that's all that I can share with you about the lexical equivalence. I'm sorry if there are some mistakes in my presentation. Thank you for your attention. I hope this video can help you to understand what the lexical equivalence well. See you in the next video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.